Hello everyone, Matt here, and welcome to our Game of the Year video for 2024. We played many titles this year, lots of great games. We finished and completed 12 of those games. Sword Art Online, Last Recollection, Jujutsu Kaisen, First Class, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, MOBA 3, Sandland, Spy Anya, Operation Memories, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Isekai Chronicles, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Alan Wake Remastered, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, Fairy Tail 2, and Jump Force. Like my 2023 video, I'm going to list these games in an order of which I enjoyed the most. So we're going to start with my least favourite and work our way up. Starting with Jujutsu Kaisen, Cursed Clash, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. These two games are a close tie for the least enjoyable games. Now, I did have fun and enjoy them both overall, but they do have faults that prevented them from being higher on my list, and that's the difficulty. I love games that are difficult and challenging, but games that fall under that category still need to be playable and not rage-inducing. Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash was disappointing because the difficulty most times was very tough. Whenever we hit 1v2 or even 1v3 match, we were pulled into a never-ending struggle to overcome our opponents and claim victory. We repeated many battles over and over. Each time I got more upset and deflated. My losing streaks may have come down to the fighting mechanics in which I had not fully grasped. Each character had unique skills and moves, which is great to see in any fighting game, but most characters I struggled to play as. Now, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was a game I was very excited for, as many fans were. My concerns were that we have played Xenoverse for over 8 years, and I was worried about how difficult the gameplay would be, on top of retreading the story. With most anime and manga that get adapted into a video game, I prefer an original story. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero did not do this. We've got a retread of the Dragon Ball saga, following it from each playable character's perspective, but even then, some characters got more coverage than others, and some characters that you'd expect to have a path to follow simply were not included. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was similar to Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash in the difficulty department. The game had options to choose from, but the highest difficulty felt extreme at times. We experienced many hard battles that had us repeat battles over and over in frustration. One wrong move would cost us a game, or the opponent felt like they had unlimited abilities and combos. We even had to spam certain moves at times just to win a round. Now, my final critique of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero may be a personal one and may not have affected others. I have not looked into the issue, but the gameplay and movement at times felt very slow, which I think boils down to my computer not being able to handle and run the game on average settings. I never tested this though. Regardless, this still affected my overall enjoyment of the game. Next up is Jump Force. I'll make this one a short critique. This is very close to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Jujutsu Kaisen First Class, but I think at times I enjoyed the gameplay of Jump Force more. I liked the cast of characters and some environments were pretty cool, but this game has a lot of negatives, which is why it's low on my list. I'll try not to go into too many details, but to briefly point them out, we had a limited choice of characters and not a wide enough coverage of jump properties. There is no option for environments that are just from the jump world or just from the real world. Only the option for merged worlds. Character models don't work. Some characters are okay, but only a few. The create your own character options for the cosmetics are very limited, and to top it off, during cutscenes the character showed no emotion and has zero personality. This was not helped by a poor story that was just not engaging to me. Sword Art Online, Fractured Daydream, and Last Recollection. Both games were fun, I enjoyed them, and the story was not too bad either. Last Recollection acting as an end to the previous games, and Fractured Daydream being a standalone entry. Fractured Daydream had a great gameplay that I did enjoy, but with a short story mode and limited online mode, I got burnt out with this game very quickly and only returned after completion just for the Battle Pass. Even then, I really wasn't interested in what the Battle Pass had to offer besides artwork. Last Recollection beats Fractured Daydream in the content department. We put 76.4 hours into it, without even covering all the side stories and DLC. Last Recollection's gameplay is similar to Alicization like Chorus, but to me I found this gameplay a lot more simpler, and that made it easy for me to understand, which I appreciate. The DLC, however, is lacking, and comparing the DLC to other Sword Art Online games, this could possibly be the weakest. I asked on our YouTube page which games you enjoyed the most. Hayden York, 3791, thank you for your response. You said Sword Art Online, Fractured Daydream, and Last Recollection. Both games we really enjoyed. and would happily go back to again. Asked on our Discord community page which games you enjoyed was playing in 2024, and Uto Sumaragi posted and said, "The Sword Art Online games that were played this were, to me, were great, just wish they had more story to go with it all." And that's relating to Sword Art Online Last Recollection and Back to Daydream. Yuto, thank you so much for your response. Now for a different style of game, Spy Anya Operation Memories. The gameplay is very simple, basic, and low effort, but I enjoyed the game. I watched Spy Family with Perfect Sky. We enjoy the anime. To be able to play a game set in the universe with that cast of characters was great. Complete a journal covering a period of weeks, and each day you either go to a school or a location or event, interacting with characters and taking pictures for your journal. The photo mode is very limited and you have to meet certain marks to pass, so while giving you some pose options in the photos, it's not customizable at all, and with the game being offline there's sadly no options to share your photos with friends. However, the game is packed with mini-games, so if you don't like the main game, I'm sure there'll be at least one mini-game you would enjoy. We quite liked the card game. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Isekai Chronicles. Isekai Chronicles was a lot of fun. I watched the anime alongside playing the game so I could better understand the story. The gameplay being small dungeons that you make your way through, taking on enemies and ending with a dungeon boss was really fun. The game has a town builder included, which is limited and not as exciting as it sounded before its release. The DLC added more characters and story, with the final DLC adding an additional 100 floors of a dungeon, which will extend the game's length by a good number of hours depending on your playstyle. I think the only fault this game had was there was no option for auto battling and auto travel through the dungeons, and that the dungeons and gameplay are very repetitive. Fairy Tail 2, a really great and fun game, very short, but it covers the remainder of the Fairy Tail story. So between Fairy Tail and Fairy Tail 2, you will have experienced roughly the whole saga. The gameplay mixed up from the previous entry, with the battles involved you using SP to use as many moves and abilities that you can within the time limit of your turn. The game is let down by its smaller roster of characters, extremely linear story path, little to no side quests. At times, like that time, Fairy Tail 2 is missing an auto battle, which is a mechanic that I love in turn-based combat and RPGs. Sandland feels completely different to Fairy Tail 2 to me. The open world, the combat, the story, the late Akira Toriyama's original story and art style. This game was hard not to lie. This game is filled with content and a wide variety of options for you to experience the game. We purchased the collector's edition of the game and it's one of the best I've purchased in a long time. Now here's a game I knew nothing about and wasn't sure if I'd like it. It was Alan Wake Remastered. This game was a lot of fun. We streamed this game over the Halloween period and in a short span of time I was engrossed in the story. The gameplay was fun and I'm genuinely excited to play Alan Wake 2, which has received so much acclaim. Now we have come to the final two games that we finished in 2024. This was a tough call to make, and equally they are both amazing games that I loved and would easily play again. I am doing to a degree with one of those titles having a remake available. Mother 3, this game was amazing. I loved the story, the characters I enjoyed the previous two games enough to obtain a physical copy of Mother 3 and dump and patch the copy with the English fan translation, and from that porting it to a blank GBA cartridge so that I can play the English fan translation on an official device. Mother 3 looks so nice, and thanks to the detailed sprite work, it still holds up to this day. This is a game that I would recommend to any fan of Nintendo, RPG, or a fan of the sprite art style. With Mother 3 in a very close first place, the number one game that I enjoyed the most in 2024 is Final Fantasy VII. Now we started Crisis Core back in 2022. It was suggested by a subscriber, DarkElias87. I had never played a Final Fantasy game before, but was always interested in trying out the series. And while it took some time, but I got hooked on Crisis Core. It's actually one of my favourite video game protagonists. The story is deep and at times really emotional. The gameplay is really fun, a great action RPG with a unique features. I forgot to mention I played this game on hard mode, which meant it took a lot longer to play through and complete, but it was well worth it. Absolutely worth it. Spent some time doing missions to level up, but spent more time covering as many missions as possible because they were just so fun to do. I really did enjoy playing through the games we covered in 2024, but Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core takes the top spot. I enjoyed every aspect of the game, the ups and the downs, and it's become one of my favourite video games. And that's it for our 2024 Game of the Year video. I do hope you enjoyed. Which of these games did you enjoy the most? Were you here watching me stream them? Did you play them yourselves? Let me know. Did you have a different opinion to mine? please do. I'd love to hear it. I'm looking forward to the games coming out in 2025. I hope you'll be there for them. We'll try and cover as many as we can. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.